What's up, everybody? Welcome to the AM. Welcome to 5-Minute Rants. I am your host, Mike Labernathy, where we talk about everything that's to do with business and life in general for the journey. Everything predicated on the journey. So today I want to talk about the inside out. Okay. I think it's really important to see, and I think it's really important to acknowledge that in order to change everything on the outside of you, you got to change everything on the inside of you. And I'm not just talking physically, okay? But that is how it happens, all right? So if I want to change, because currently I'm in the Get Unfat program, which is lose weight, get healthy, those sort of things, I got to change what I'm putting inside me first. And then all the outward manifestations begin to happen, okay? What goes on when I do cardio, when I do exercise? All my insides are activated, my muscular skeletal system, my cardiovascular system, my respiratory system. All those things are activated and then begin changing and working. And then guess what happens? My physical appearance on the outside begins to change, okay? But all the internals have to change first. That's actually how change occurs, okay? So everything in your life outwardly, your house, your kids, your business, your company, everything that was on the outside of you is a representation of who you are on the inside, okay? And so I think it's really important to see that, because what happens is, and what our natural tendency is to try and change ourselves from the outside to the inside, right? We try and buy things to make ourselves feel better or look better. And there's nothing wrong with buying things. There's nothing wrong with having nice cars. But what I'm saying is I'm counting on the car to change me and the purchase of that car to change me, to make me into a better man than I am on my own actions and decisions internally, right? And so we naturally go there. We naturally go to try and change ourselves on the outside first, try and change things like, I just need to move. I'm having problems. I don't know how to work at the moment. I don't know how to move forward with life. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to change cities. I'm going to move. And sometimes it does work, but not for the obvious reasons, right? There's a big difference between correlation and causation. Sometimes moving from city to city works because you're actually getting away from the cause, and it's not the move. The move is correlated. It's interesting how that correlation and causation is actually one of the harder concepts to grasp intellectually that I've read. And reading about it, it's one of the harder concepts to grasp. Where at first glance, we think something is the cause, and it's not. It's only correlated with it. So anyways, going back to that, our nature is to try and change and fix things on the outside first, hoping that it will change me personally. And I have done this. Listen, I have done this. I'm like, cool. When Andrew and we opened up the company, our first company, we were like, I'm a businessman. I have an LLC that I changed into an S Corp. And now here I am. And now all these things, and I have all these titles, all this stuff on the outside. And you know who it never changed? Me. And the company never changed. We didn't grow and move forward healthily until it became real to us that the company was us. When it really sat in really deep that the company is me and it is a reflection of me, and there's no difference between the company and me on the inside, it really, really started to hit very deeply. Wow, the only way to change this is for me to change, and then everything else will change. And so it's the same thing with weight. I didn't change until I recognized that I had a problem. And that's actually how most change occurs. Most change occurs with the recognition of I have a problem. If you've listened to that episode, I encourage you to go back and listen to it if you haven't. But the formula and the way to change, step number 1 is humility. Be able to be wrong. Recognize you have a problem, and then change comes from there. That's every time I've had growth in my life is from going, wow, I'm wrong. Or maybe this is broken. And wrong is not the end of the world. Failure is not the end of the world. It should be embraced. Just because you now see that you're failing doesn't mean that you suck at life. It's always been there, right? So for years, Andrew and we just did client work, and we neglected ourselves with our own marketing. We didn't love ourselves, and we were broken. Okay, it had been happening for a while. And then we realized we were wrong. Well, we'd always been wrong. That's okay. Cool. Next, we embraced it, changed. And so anyways, from the inside out, if you really want to change, you got to start with you, your heart, and that emotional health, right? And then your physical health. and then your family. All right, guys, I'm out of time. I keep going over on these things. I'll talk to y'all later. Catch you on the flip side. Peace.